not having that father figure in my world, no one gave me a rule book. No one gave me, the way to do it. I mean, I learned how to do a lot of different things by watching my friends do it with their dads.
Yeah.
So for me, there was no rule book. There was definitely no guidance. And so when you bring that newborn home and you're like, okay, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that this person has something that I did not.
Hey there, welcome back to Above and Beyond, where excellence meets elevation. I'm your host, Jan Simon, and this season we're raising the bar, diving into the passion, purpose, and defining moments of leaders who don't just aim high, they live there. Big ideas, real stories. Let's get into it. Today on Above and Beyond, we're sitting down with a man whose life has been anything but ordinary. He grew up in Belle Chasse, Louisiana, raised by strong women who shaped his values early on. After serving the Air National Guard as a jet engine mechanic, to help pay for college, he followed a different kind of calling, music. From spinning records as a DJ in New Orleans to opening nightclubs across the country with ECI Entertainment, his early years were filled with sound, movement, and hustle. But in 1997, he pivoted, landing in Arizona and starting his own mobile DJ business, which he grew and eventually sold nearly 2 decades later. Now, working in corporate America in the security industry, he brings decades of experience in reinvention, risk-taking, and staying grounded through change. Join us as we dive into his story, a journey of passion, pivot, and purpose that defines what it means to go above and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mike Euper.
Never been considered that way before. So exciting.
There you go.
In your world, right?
You work it and you make it sound good, and there it is. So, Mike, we're sitting down for the first time. I really don't know you much, so we can dig into early on.
Yeah.
La Chasse. Did I say that right?
Belle Chasse.
Belle Chasse.
Belle Chasse, Louisiana.
Belle Chasse, Louisiana.
Louisiana, Nolens. Yeah, about 30 minutes outside of New Orleans.
Now, that's south of New Orleans, right?
South, so we're more towards the boot. So like when you get towards like Venice, Boothville, the end of the world.
Is there actually land down there?
There is land. Hey, remember, we're 8 feet under sea level.
I thought Louisiana was like below is it a dike? Is that what it's called?
We have levees.
Levee.
That keeps us kind of afloat.
Okay.
So to speak, or it keeps the water out.
Okay.
But we're surrounded by water. Matter of fact, when Katrina happened in 2005, we had ships 125 feet, 250 feet that were 7 miles inland.
No kidding.
That's how harsh the water was. And then, like in Plaquemines Parish, where I grew up, they're all parishes, not counties.
Is that like a county?
Kind of like a county. We ended up with no government help, no state, federal help. It was just local help.
Okay.
And so my mom was living there at the time in Belle Chasse, which is probably 20, 30 minutes from where it actually came across.
Okay.
I think it was Port Sulphur where it actually crossed.
Okay.
And we wouldn't have heard about New Orleans at all if it wasn't for the levees breaking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was pretty much done, and then the levees broke, and then it just flooded.
So were you impacted out there at all? Where you were?
My mom was, yeah. Okay. So I left home in 91 and really never went back.
Okay.
And so, but she, living in Belle Chasse, very affected. Matter of fact, one of the things that just threw me for a big loop was a home across the street, the slab of the home, a quarter of the slab had moved like 100 yards.
No kidding.
So that just gives you an idea how powerful Mother Earth is.
That's incredible.
To move a slab.
For sure. Yeah. Well, it's crazy because I've never, I don't think, been in a natural disaster. I fought forest fires for a while. So I guess you could probably say that a little bit. But, and being able to see, I actually was watching on the news the other night. They were showing, and I think it was the fire up by the Grand Canyon, the two cells kind of coming together and creating a fire, we call it fire devil, but basically a twister. And I can remember seeing those, but being in a situation like that where weather, you have no control. I mean, and you don't have control of the fire, but man, you have no control. That'd be just freaky.
It is, and you're not going to save anything. So and New Orleans being one of those places where you get a lot of hurricanes that'll go a different direction.
Mm.
So they don't always hit you, but they always have to put out the warning. You might want to leave. You might want to, buckle down. But it's just one of those things where it's hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time it's miss.
Yeah.
And when it does hit, it's
Pretty catastrophic.
I've been telling my family for the longest time, it's not if,
It's when.
it's when. And the big one will come and it'll drown them out and the levees will all break.
Sure.
And, the Corps of Engineers won't be able to save it.
Be underwater.
It will be underwater.
So let's talk about childhood. Were you born and raised in Bella Chase?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I was born in Marrero, Louisiana,
Okay.
St. Jefferson Hospital. Then we lived in Belle Chase until I was about kindergarten age.
Okay.
My dad was working for my mom's brother, opening nightclubs.
Okay.
It was called The Cockpit. It was in Memphis, Tennessee. So my family moved out there. We were there probably a year and a half when my folks got divorced.
Okay.
And my mom moved back to New Orleans where her family was.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing, my mom had all the support, especially from even my dad's side.
That's good.
So it was really, really good. As a child, I had all the support I needed from family. Maybe not so much my father, but definitely family. So my mom did the best she could. She worked like all the time. And so as I got older, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, who at least I had a stable home. I had food. I had shelter, because my mom worked in the man's industry. She worked for Chevron for 20 something years and she worked shift work. So she was gone 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Wow.
And so for me getting up, going to school, this, that, and the other, my grandmother was a hellacious help in my upbringing and also just helping around anything that, a boy would need. I had a younger sister at the time, 2 years younger. She spent most of her time at my mom's, and I spent most of my time, especially when I got into high school, with my grandmother. Lived there, was closer to school, and it was easier for my grandmother to get me around and for me to do the things that I needed, football, sports, that sort of thing. So it was easier for me than traveling back and forth to my mom's house, which was only another 15, 20 minutes.
Gotcha.
But it was just easier from a discipline standpoint to have some adult supervision.
For sure. Stupid question. Food. Is it as stereotypical as you think it is? Like crawfish and jumbo and jambalaya and...
It's better.
Really?
I'd put it against any country. It's probably the best food in the world.
Really?
And I've done a lot of traveling. I've been around at least this country. Not too much overseas, but as far as the food, it's about seasoning, it's about culture, history, and I don't know if it's something in the atmosphere because we do a lot of crawfish bowls out here in Arizona. I've taken all the ingredients from home, brought them here, made the same dish, and it tastes different. And I do believe it has something to do with water or humidity.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go.
Without a doubt.
Now, can you get crawfish shipped here?
Yep, live.
Okay.
Sent to your door.
Okay. I don't think I've ever eaten a crawfish. I love seafood. Love lobster. I don't think I've ever eaten a crawfish.
Crawfish is, they call it a mud bug for a reason. It's the lowest form of food from the South, I guess you could call it.
They are bottom feeders, right?
Yeah. It's a poor man's lobster.
That's funny. Can you eat them without peeling them? I mean, do
You can.
you suck the whole...
So it's all in the cooking process. And a lot of people with the boiling, if you overboil them, they get hard and then the skin and the outside attaches to the actual meat.
Okay.
And so you can't get it out. And so you have to do more extra peels to get it out. If you cook them right, which is usually about 7 minutes, once it gets to boil, 7 minutes, take them out. And you can always test them and retest them. But if you get it right, you can squeeze the tail, bite, and pull it right out.
And it comes right out.
And then, if you want to gross people out, use your finger and take what's inside the head, which is, all the really good, juicy.
We were in Vegas one time, and actually the first time I ever saw anybody eat lobster, we were with a friend, and I think we were at Mirage, maybe. Anyways, doesn't matter. We were some restaurant, and they brought the lobster, and it was a full lobster, and they had turned the brain and stuff up because that's like the delicacy. Like, there is no way in hell that's going into my mouth.
That's my favorite part.
Really?
Oh, it's the inner.
And they say that. It's like, it is like the delicacy. But
It really is. So it's same thing with the crawfish or the mud bugs. So we used to have in Arizona when I moved here, a friend of ours used to do, what was it called? Cinco de Mayo or Cinco de Cajun de Mayo. That's what it was called, Cajun de Mayo. And we would do crawfish boil. So after a golf tournament, we'd come back to his house. I would boil up all the crawfish and we'd have hundreds of pounds of crawfish and people would try it for the first time. So whenever you put on an exhibition or at least you show people how to do this,
yeah,
they're amazed, but you will gross them out when you stick your finger into the head of a crawfish, right?
Sam,
And you pull out this yellowish black dripping, and then it goes in your mouth and they're like, oh, I'm out. I'm not touching that. And they're like, stop, we'll never get rid of all this crawfish. I'm like, yeah, more for us. Because once you're done eating it,
yeah,
you've had your fill and you have all this left. Then you got to peel it and put it away for etouffee, jambalaya, anything that you want to mix with crawfish. You can put it in your breakfast meals. So it is really good. The one thing I would say is different between the crawfish and the lobster, and maybe I've had some bad lobster, but they tend to be rubbery lobster.
Yeah.
More of that feel.
Overcooked, yeah.
You don't get that with crawfish. It's just like eating a meat. I mean, you bite it, chew it.
Okay, well, I'm going to hold you to it someday.
We will have it.
We're going to have to do
Guaranteed.
a lobster boil.
We will.
A crawfish boil. That would be a blast. And Christine's aunt lives in New Jersey, and we've done crab boil, blue crab boil stuff. And God, I love that stuff. But I would love to try. I don't think I've ever had crawfish. We used to catch them as kids.
Oh,
but they were, little tiny ones,
little bitty ones.
Yeah, we didn't have big ones.
Yep, little ones, big ones. Same thing with the shrimp. You get little shrimp, and then they classify shrimp by the size to make a pound. So like 3 to a pound, 10 to a pound, 20 to a pound. So you get 20, 30s. That's how many it takes
and a small
to make
ones.
A pound.
Yeah,
but we do the blue crabs as well.
Okay,
that's a big thing.
Is that blue crab down there?
Oh yeah.
Oh really? Okay.
Blue crabs. We also have the oysters.
Oh,
and I'll eat oysters in any way.
Christine loves oysters. When I was probably 16. I think I was younger than that. I had braces, and we were at my uncle's house. So I grew up in Washington. We're in Puget Sound. We're at my uncle's house, and we go down to the beach and get clams and oysters and all that stuff. And so we're doing an oyster boil, and my dad dared me. He's like, "Hey, I'll give you $1 if you chew that oyster." Well, I have braces, so I start chewing the oyster. It got stuck in my back brace. I go to swallow it, and it's like stuck and down my throat. I'm like gagging. I've not been able to eat oysters since. But Christine loves oysters. We'll go places. She'll be like oyster Rockefeller or oyster whatever it is that she gets. I don't know. But, the raw ones with the horseradish. And
I'll eat them any way you make them. But I can tell you my favorite way is charbroiled.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. It took me leaving and going back home to have charbroiled for the first time.
Really?
It's hard to believe, but I only spent my childhood in Louisiana.
Gotcha.
So when I was done with college, I moved away.
Okay.
I was working for a company that got me away from New Orleans, and it was perfect timing for me. New Orleans is a great place, or just outside of New Orleans. Belle Chase, we had it all. So as a child, we swam in the canals, the channels, the intercoastal, the Mississippi. We hunted, we fished. Like we would take, at 11, we'd sneak out of the house at night and shoot rabbits and squirrels and nutria and whatever else. And then we'd have a guy in the neighborhood that would, buy the pelt, the meat or the pelts.
Yep.
And so we would do that, and he would pay us. So we did just about anything back in the day.
Yeah.
To make.
We had a lady, she had a really bad crow problem, and she paid me to kill crows. Well, if anybody knows, crows are stupid smart. As soon as you take one shot, they're gone the rest of the day. Like they will not come back.
Pigeons are not smart.
They just sit there and back down.
We had that problem when I first moved out here. So you could always tell the adolescent pigeons. So they'd sit up on the roof and you'd shoot one and the one would look at him and go like, what the?
What happened? Hey, get back up here, buddy.
Give me time to reload and shoot the other one, where if it was a parent, you shoot up there, miss or hit, the other one's gone.
Oh, yeah. Crows are the same way. You take one shot, there could be 30 of them in the trees. They're gone. And you will not see another one for the rest of the day. It's the craziest thing.
I never knew that about them.
They're dumb smart. But yeah. So sports. Did you play sports growing up?
I did. I played baseball. I played golf. I played football. when I was 11, we figured out that I have congenital dislocated radial head. So the ulna and the radius in my forearms, both of them, are cockeyed.
Huh.
So playing football, I was the opposite of Popeye. So all the padding was around my elbows.
Uh-huh.
And when I would get hit, it would hurt.
Oh.
So you can see this bone.
Yeah.
It just sticks out. So on both arms, my left is a little better than my right. I can extend my left arm a little further than my right.
Oh, wow.
We knew that I wasn't going to play football for long
Yep.
because as soon as the other team figures it out, and I was the fullback and linebacker.
Okay.
So I played both ways. Pretty good sport, athlete. Baseball, I was average at best. Picked up golf when I was 9. My dad actually gave me a set of clubs, which I found out later were blades.
Mm.
I wanted to kill him. Thank you, Dad. But I think it was me and away from my dad to actually connect because he wasn't around.
Yeah.
He was an absent father. I think he had us for 1 week in a month and 2 weeks in the summer.
Oh, wow.
And we'd get excuses, And look, man, he had his own life. I get it. Maybe he wasn't ready for kids, that sort of thing. But he started another family immediately. So I have 2 younger half brothers.
Oh, wow.
That are 12 and 14 years apart from me, younger. And my sister, and then, of course, she still lives in Louisiana. She runs a hotel. So she's more connected with my younger brothers, but I was never there.
Gotcha.
So when I got home from the military, I saw them, and then I was off to school. And so I never really, I wouldn't say connect. I love them to death, but, we've never had that brother sibling relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the golf, my dad taught me when I was 9, and it was something that gave us time together.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of talking. So as I grew up, for him and I to stay away from the subject that was painful, it was play golf.
Yeah.
We drank, and then we'd play pool, and then it avoided the conversation that always needed to happen.
Yeah.
And but I got really good at golf. I would show up at his country club at 7 a.m, and he had 3 9s. It was the front, back, and then the levy 9. And I would play the levy 9 until 1 p.m. when they allowed juniors to play the front and back. And so I got really good, and I didn't know how good I was until I was about 15. And I was playing in different tournaments, junior tournaments. Started the golf team at Belle Chase High School.
Okay.
And our coach Smith, he was more like a chaperone. He couldn't break 100, and he was left-handed. God rest his soul. But he used to take us to all our events.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun. And there was a few members of our team that contributed and participated and can play decent.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun with it. It was another way for me to just, stay away from trouble.
Yeah.
Stay out of trouble. And
Do you feel like it helped you, although you were not connected with your dad, do you feel like that helped you connect with your dad?
yeah, it was the one way we were able to connect, because I always knew that when we had that conversation, it was not going to go well, or whether he wanted to have it. And he was much older. I was 18 at the time, and he had asked me, we had a couple drinks. I think we had played golf, and he's like, "Hey, is there anything you want to talk about?" And I was like, "Whoa, floodgates."
Yeah. You asked.
Where do I start? And, he cried, and I cried, and we decided that, hey, I still need a father. I'm 18. Life's not done, but it gave us something to do to avoid the pain and to not talk about, the fact that he was not there and there was an excuse here or an excuse there and whatnot. I remember every birthday or Christmas and whatnot, I would get a polo shirt and $100.
Yeah.
That's what I got. And like I said, it was very rare that we would get to see him in that once a month type of thing. And so it pains him to hear me say it, but I've said it in front of him. When people ask, what'd you learn from your father? I was like, how not to be a father.
Yeah.
And it's painful, but it's the truth.
Yeah. Well, that's tough. Is he still around today?
Absolutely. And we're friends, call him dad, and we have that relationship. Like I said, we get together.
Yeah.
We play golf.
Okay.
We drink, we have a good time. We'll
That's
play some pool. We'll listen to music.
Yeah.
We drink wine together. We have fun.
Nice.
Don't get me wrong. But, it's something that will be with me until I die. And back in the day, there was no such thing as therapist or, going to that thing. And if we could, I don't know if my mom would have been able to afford it,
Yeah.
back in the day. So like we talk about government food. When I stayed with my grandmother, she would get, rations. I remember getting that big old glob of block of
Yeah, the big cheese. Yeah.
powdered milk.
Mhm.
Oh my God, we got powdered milk.
I grew up on powdered milk. I don't remember who I was talking to about that. I grew up
TJ.
on powdered milk. Yeah. That's right.
I just listened to that one.
Powdered milk, man. I'll tell you. God, that picks up the flavor of the refrigerator too. A couple days old, it's not good anymore.
It's harsh.
Yeah. So and we usually mixed it pretty thin because you got to make it stretch. So
That's right.
but playing golf. Did you play on the high? You played on the high school team.
Played on the high school team.
Okay.
I didn't get to a college level, but I did chase the mini tours for many years.
Did you not get to the college level because you didn't feel like you were good enough, or
I knew I wasn't good enough in the head
Okay.
to do so. I mean, let's be honest. I had anger issues, childhood anger issues that just carried over. And
Yeah.
if there was a therapist that could have helped me, maybe, I wasn't a bad golfer. I just knew that from a head case standpoint that I was never going to go anywhere with it. There were tournaments that I finished with one club because I broke all the rest. I can look back and laugh now, but back in the day, that was stupid.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when you think about, I mean, with the right mentor, probably golf can be a great game to help you manage that, right? That pissed off demon inside,
Yeah.
that wants to come out and just break the club. There's so many. There's one that's like, and Karen and I were talking, I'm my own worst enemy. I am very harsh on myself. Like I feel I should play way better. And I'll play with people who are worse than me. And they're like, I'm sorry. I'm like, this is not about you. This is 100% about me and the fact that I can't hit the damn ball straight.
Yeah, it comes down to it. So I play with a lot of really good golfers. I play with a lot of really bad golfers. And I can tell you from when I started playing and the competitiveness of it to where I am now, 48 years later of playing golf.
Yeah.
I can tell you that I have so much fun out there playing with anyone. And if I can see someone or work on someone's game and get them better and have them playing better, that's all the kudos I need. And that's what I love doing.
Do you ever play? My grandfather, we used to play all the time. I shouldn't say all the time, but I used to play with him quite a bit. He's the one that really kind of got me into it. But I used to go play with him. And he would give me, I think it was his goal every hole to give me one more thing to think about and work on. So it was like, okay, now if you stand with your feet a little bit like this. And by the time we got done, I was so jacked up in the head, I couldn't play. Do you ever do that with anybody? You screw with people?
No, I don't. To be honest, it would be very easy to do that, but I don't. I really want the people that I play golf with, I play golf with them for a reason.
Yeah.
They bring something to the table. Maybe it's not golf and they're learning golf, but it's the conversation or their lifestyle or the meaning that they, whatever it may be, there's something that brings us together.
Yeah.
That allows us to go out and enjoy this 4 hours, because you really have to enjoy someone's company to be out there for 4 or 5 hours. And if you don't, you learn real quickly. And being in sales now, if I'm talking to someone on the phone and they want to go out and play golf, I'm going to do lunch with them first. I'm going to have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And then I figure out whether I want to spend 4 hours of front nine with them.
Right. Let alone the back nine.
Or the whole 18 type of thing. Because I can tell you, it is hard playing with people that are difficult.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about, I don't care how bad your game is. If you're not if you can't hold a conversation, or there's nothing interesting about you, or we have nothing in common, whatever it may be. Now you'll see every time that I go out and play golf, I like to have a cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
I like to listen to music from start to finish.
Yeah.
I don't even take it out when I swing. You can ask people that I play golf. They'll tell you. It's something that happened about 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just stuck.
That's funny.
And so I started having that. And I think that's really when it became fun to play golf, where it was no longer about, I mean,
So you
I can
turned
close my eyes.
Turned into John Daly.
Kinda. I don't play barefoot like Frank, but I do enjoy it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I feel the same way. Like, I love being out. I have gotten to the point where I know I'm as good as I'm going to get. I mean, I could probably get better if I took lessons, and where I've never taken a lesson in my life.
I guarantee I can make you better.
Well, let's go golf.
Exactly.
But I did get new grips, which has been freaking awesome. But anyways, Air Guards, let's step back.
Yeah.
Go into the Air National Guard.
Yeah, so out of high school, my mom goes, hey, look, I got your first semester of college. If you get all A's or all F's, I got your first semester of college. And I was like, oh, I got to figure this out. So if she's going to pay for the first semester, how do I pay for the second and the third and the second year, third year and whatnot? So I'm like, oh, the GI Bill. Let's try that. And then I went in and took a test. And I'm like, man, you scored really well. You can really pick whatever branch you want to go in. I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I need encouragement here.
Yeah.
And I knew I wasn't going overseas. I knew that I wasn't going to, I wanted to pay for school. That's the avenue I thought that I needed to take. And
was that during the first Gulf War?
Yeah. So this was back in 88.
Okay.
I graduated high school in 87.
Okay.
And it was okay. I did a semester at University of New Orleans.
Okay.
That was not for me. I'm like, I think I need to go away to school. I got to get away from my current situation, my mom. I mean, look, as much as I love that woman, she inspires me. I look up to her and respect her more than anybody else on this planet, besides my grandmother, Rita, who passed away many, many years ago.
Yeah.
I had to just get away from that situation and be on my own. And so when I graduated high school, signed the paperwork, and they told me I was going to Illinois after San Antonio. So Lackland was where we did our basic training.
Okay.
That was a kind of an interesting time. So I arrived there and we had like co-op type bases where my particular unit had a female unit, not in our barracks, but next to our barracks.
Okay.
And so we shared like athletic time, running time, a lot of different things with this team and females. And it's kind of funny. So you would get mail from home. You would send mail home. When you get mail from the next barracks over, that becomes a big deal. And so when your drill instructors get a hold of this, they're like, oh, Airman Green is sending Airman Euper a letter.
No.
We should read this.
Oh, no.
Thank God there's saltpeter in the water, because I'm telling you, you start reading this and these boys are going to get excited.
Oh, absolutely.
And so they did, and we stayed in touch throughout the entire time we were there. And our TIs, I think there's a saying where you don't want to be first, you don't want to be last, you want to be somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I felt like I was in the middle towards the top.
Okay.
I wasn't the guy, hey, I'll do that, I'll volunteer, I'll go and, whatever. I wanted to get it done.
Did you go active first and then go guard, or were you?
No, there was no such thing as active for me.
Oh, okay.
It was literally to pay for my schooling. So I went to Lackland Air Force Base, and I think our training for the Air Force was 6 weeks, where everybody else was, or 8 weeks, and I think everybody else was 10, 12, the Army, the Marines.
Yeah.
And then when I left there, my MO was jet engine mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Chanute, Illinois, in the middle of nowhere, and the base was in the middle there. It was in a multi-use base or multi-branch.
Okay.
So they had different branches there. They had a golf course.
Ah, well, perfect.
So the first 3 weeks you're there, you can't leave the base. You have short hair. They know if you leave the base, you're going to get in trouble. And people are going to pick on you. You're going to end up in a situation you don't need to be into. So I never left the base. So for 3 weeks, I played golf.
Oh, my gosh.
And within the first, 4 days, I catch a group that's out there. I don't think anything of it. They invite me to play with them. So I think I finish 8 holes with them. And then 3 days later, my TI pulls me into the office. He's like, hey, who do you know here? I'm like, I don't know anybody. He goes, well, you know somebody. He goes, because you need to take your golf clubs to this golf course on Saturday morning. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, the guys that I ended up playing with, he was the general of the base.
Oh, no kidding.
Every week I played with the general of the base, and he would put me in scrambles. I mean, I was a good player back then.
That's
and
awesome.
I got to play golf. I was in the best shape of my life. Yeah, granted, it was just out of high school, but I would never trade my time in the air or the air guard for anything. I would not, because like I said, there was a time that I needed some discipline.
Yeah.
I needed some guidance, and I was able to get that from all the guys, our TIs, even the guys at Lackland. When we got our day pass, our hall pass at the end, we've done all our training. We've passed. Now that you get a free day to go into town, he pulled us in there me and one other guy, and he's like, all right, look, I know you're going to go with Airman Green, probably straight to a hotel. How did you guess? Lucky guess.
Let me give you these. You know what they're for, right? It's not a raincoat.
And he was pretty cool. He's like, I'll bring you back a souvenir. So I think I brought him an ashtray, and then Airman Juan Carlos Benito was his name. He went with another female that from the barracks next door, and his dad was a general in the Peruvian Air Force.
Oh.
He didn't want any part of that, so he came to the United States. He joined the Guard. He was with, in my unit particularly, during that time frame. And Juan, or Mr. Benito, he comes back with towels and robes and soap.
Jeez.
And so he brought all kinds of souvenirs back. But I thought it was funny because we went to the VX before going into town, and the girls are buying like hair dryers and makeup. And I'm like, you're not going to need any of that.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere.
Once that door closes, it ain't opening.
Yeah, because after about the second or third week being there, they don't force you to drink the water anymore. So we figured out that the saltpeter had to be in the water because they need that. They really do, because you don't get excited. It never gets hard. You are just doing your thing. You're focused on teaching and training and running and exercising and all this other good stuff. But once you no longer have to drink the water and you can drink juice or milk or whatever, and you stop drinking the water from the, like it starts. I remember one guy waking up one morning, he's like, it works. It still works. So it's just a different time.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was an interesting time. I did a total of 6 years because I wasn't finished with school in 4, but it was fun.
That's awesome.
I wouldn't trade it for anything. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
What type of aircraft you work on?
So I worked on the F-100 engine, which was made by Pratt & Whitney back in the time, that were in the F-15s and 16s.
Okay.
But our planes were old, and so for every 2 hours they spent in the air, they were probably 6 to 8 on the ground.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I think they were built in the 60s, so they were very old aircraft.
All training aircraft? Is that what they...
Yeah, and so we had the F-15As and Bs, which were the single-seater, two-seaters.
Yeah.
And then anytime that anyone ever got to go up, it was during dogfights.
Oh, okay.
And I remember Morton Anderson, the kicker for the Saints, because it was the Naval Air Station in Belchase, where I came back and did my 2 weeks in the summer and all that stuff. He went up, and all these pilots, they go through, some training with them, and they're like, don't throw up in the plane.
Yeah.
Well,
did you have to clean that up?
no, not me, but I heard the stories. I did hear the
Nasty.
stories.
Nasty. So during that time, you're going to college. I heard from someone that it may have been a southeastern Louisiana.
Yeah, I went to LSU briefly, and I knew that wasn't going to work for me. It was too big. GPA was going to just fall out of the sky. And so went to Southeastern Louisiana University, played Sigma Pi with a lot of my friends that were already, 6 months, a year ahead of me.
Did you play golf there?
I did not.
Okay.
I played intramural golf there.
Okay.
And all the other intramural sports.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wasn't that good. And when I went there, it was literally to focus on school and be a college student.
Gotcha.
So to speak, not an athlete.
Did you finish college?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not finish. I'm a few semesters, probably 3 away from graduating.
Okay.
And I got to a point where I knew it was a marketing degree that I was after.
Yeah.
And then I think as you get older, you start to figure out, man, this is probably not for me.
Yeah.
But the fact that my mom didn't have to pay for it, I didn't have school debt.
Yeah.
And someone else did. I figured out that the school was not for me, and I certainly wasn't going to be using a marketing degree.
Mm-hmm.
And so before I even graduated, I was working for ECI.
Okay.
And working for a place there in New Orleans. Matter of fact, it was the biggest nightclub. It was bigger than Billy Bob's in Texas.
Oh, wow.
I think it was a total of 55,000 square feet.
Is it true what they say you shouldn't go to certain sides of the street in Louisiana?
Sides of the street?
I don't know. Like areas, blocks.
Oh, yeah. There's certain areas that you should not go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would probably say one of them is Bourbon Street. So if you haven't experienced it, you should.
Yeah.
And it's different. The people are so sweet and nice there. They'll give you the shirt off their back and never ask for anything in return. But I do believe we just took over the murder capital from Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Per capita.
And that's not a good stat.
No, that's not
a good
That's
stat.
not a good one to hold on to. While you're doing the DJ stuff, well, you were DJing, right, with ECI?
So I was DJing. Matter of fact, I started as a barback. It was something to work at night, go to school during the day. And I wanted to figure out, hey, is this something I want to do? I don't know. It was a job. And so I'm pushing around a trash can. I'm singing songs and, picking up trash after cowboys.
Okay.
And it was definitely a cowboy bar. It was called Mudbugs.
Okay. Of all things.
Of all things. It was called Mudbugs. And depending on where they opened the club, they had different names that they used. So one could be Cowboys, one was Denim and Diamonds, one was Cactus Moon, just depending on the state, location. But New Orleans, Mudbugs just fit.
Yeah.
It was their first big one. And like I said, it was huge. We had a 22,000 square foot horseshoe dance floor.
Oh, wow.
And I think
22,000?
22,000 square feet.
Wow.
That's
huge.
I think the capacity was just over 7,000.
That's insane.
Yeah. And for Mel Haggard, I think we had almost 11,000 people in there.
Wow. Well, good thing the fire marshal didn't show up.
He was paid. I think he was standing at the front door. Yeah. One check. No more. No more. No more. No more. One.
Wow.
No. But I'll never forget Merle Haggard. So I'm in the DJ booth and Merle Haggard. So they allowed me to go on his bus, pay for his night. And I got to find out that they ordered like 12 loaves of bread, like 8 white and 4 wheat, and then I think there was like 9 bottles of Jack Daniels for just that night.
Damn.
Or their 2-day stay because the band gets in there. They do some practicing either the night before or all during the day because we're closed. And Merle got up there and he sang 3 songs and maybe 15, 20 seconds into his 4th song, he slowly just started to mumble, turns from the microphone to his band members, and they slowly stop playing and it gets completely quiet in here. And then he turns around to the mic and he's like, holy shit, I forgot the words. And everybody goes nuts. And I was like embarrassed. I'm like, I've been listening to this. He was so drunk he couldn't remember the words to a song he's been singing for decades.
So funny. That's so funny. He reminds my son when he turned 16, before he turned 16, Van Halen was coming to town with David Lee Roth. And he's like, hey, Dad, have you heard of this band? I think, when I grew up,
Maybe.
I may have listened to him a couple times. He says, you want to go? I'm like, yeah, let's go. So we go. We went out to, I don't know, Cricket Pavilion, whatever it is out there in the West Side. David Lee Roth, same thing. I think he was so drunk. It's like he'd start singing. Pretty soon he's just mumbling. And the crowd's singing. So it's like you don't know, but he's, it's like, come on, dude.
Well, every year we would get the concert series summer pass to Auction Pavilion,
Okay.
The outdoor,
Yeah.
like 75th and McDowell.
Yep.
And about 2 years ago, he was there. And it all acts because it's around, a community.
Yeah.
So it's homes and everything. So they have a cutoff at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
That music has to be cut off. Well, he didn't want to leave the stage. Oh, he kept singing. They drug him off.
Way.
Oh, yeah, they drug him off.
No way.
But it was so good. I mean, he's 74 years old and he was still killing it.
It's crazy.
And then, so we've seen a lot of acts out there.
That's awesome.
Music is a huge part of my life.
So are you a singer too?
No.
Okay.
And I don't play an instrument either.
Okay. But you are mixologist?
Love music. Yes. Yeah. And so, yeah.
Were you on the tables and stuff? I mean, what did you do?
Yep. So a lot of the stuff, so you don't mix country music. I mean, you
could.
You could. Back in the day, so this is the 80s, early 90s.
Play.
You're not really mixing a lot of it.
Next, we're going to play Boot Scoot and Boogie.
Yeah.
Play.
So the country song, and then you talk over
Yeah.
the mix most of the time. But it's stuck, and so it's kind of that neon cowboy feel. So most weekdays, it was all country music.
Okay.
And then you get to the weekends, and you mix in.
That was when it was still country music, too.
It was different. So, but you would still mix in all of your nightclub popular music.
Okay.
And read the crowd.
Yeah.
If they wanted all country and they weren't up there dancing to it, then you went back to country. But it was that type of setup and that type of situation to where you'd mix it in on the weekends.
How much
How much prep time did that take you to kind of get ready for that stuff? Or did you just come in with a playlist and you're like, okay, I'm doing the same thing every time. Oh, you know what? This isn't working. We're going to bounce over here and do that.
Actually, no playlist. I never, ever set up a night with a playlist.
Okay.
It was all just read the crowd, figure out who was in there. If we would do dance lessons before, then I know that they would stay afterwards. And then, to start the evening, they'd want to hear some more of we taught them a line dance that night. They'd want to hear more songs that you could do that particular line dance to.
Gotcha.
And then, so it just, if you play a triple step type song and you had a large crowd, then you would find more of those type of songs to play, or the two step. And I don't think it was until I moved away from New Orleans that I learned about the one step. I didn't even know that was a thing. Most everybody did a two step, but I think to be able to do all the different moves and spins and turns.
What those are?
So a two steps is like 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. And then like a triple step is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then a waltz is boom, boom, boom,
gotcha.
boom.
Okay.
So just different tempos to the song made you do a different type of dance. Well, the one step you can pretty much do to any song, which you don't ever have to count your feet. You never have to worry about off steps because you're just doing a one step.
Gotcha.
It allows you to do more of the moves, show off the girl, because that's really what dancing is. You're showing off the female.
Yeah. We used to, my ex and I, when we were in college, there was a place called the Buckboard Tavern. I can't.
Easy for you to
Buckboard Tavern. And we used to go line dance all the time, swing, line dancing. Loved it. I mean, loved dancing back then. That was a blast. We used to do that all the time.
It was a fun time. We had a guy that used to make us shirts. I guess probably Garth Brooks kicked off all the different styles of shirts and whatnot. So we just copied all of that. And we had a guy that would make them fluorescent. And we had a lot of black lights in the club. So,
just
the white shirts would stand out, all the different colors, the pinks and the oranges and the greens and things. It was really, really cool.
The hard pressed Wranglers and it's like ropers. Everybody had them.
It was a lot of fun. So when they offered me the position of opening more clubs is basically when the schooling came to an end. And so I started traveling with the company, opening clubs. We'd spend 7 to 8 months and then move on.
Oh, wow.
And
so did you teach somebody to basically do what you were doing then? Or?
Yep. I'd hire the DJ and then I'd build the DJ booth.
Okay.
And I trained the staff on the DJ and then I'd help wherever else was needed.
Okay.
And then once everything was up and running, we'd spend probably 2 to 3 weeks grand opening. And then we were off.
I can't get over 22,000 square foot dance floor.
Big.
That is freaking huge.
It was massive. It was an old storage unit.
Huh.
And they just refabbed it and made it into a nightclub.
I just think about the footprint of
it's a storage unit now. I think it was like an old Mervyn's or something. It was a big old department store.
I just feel like to be able to fill that to the point where, you're in the black, that's so much space.
And they would put a lot of people, but I can tell you can always tell when it was empty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness.
Sure.
You walk into a 55,000 square foot place, there's no one there. Like, we saw it every day before we opened. You go in and there's nobody here.
But you're playing music and there's 20 people out there and you're like, oh, crap.
It was so big, you couldn't tell who was standing on the other side. Like from one end to the other, you couldn't tell who that person was.
That's crazy. So how long did you do that?
So I did that for a few years, ended up in Colorado. They allowed me to have that store. So I ran Denver. It was in Thornton, Colorado, in a strip mall. And it was 22,000 square feet.
Okay.
And God, same concept. It was that neon cowboy. We played country music. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, we would play more of the mix.
Okay.
A variety of different music. But I had a DJ doing that. I started that. That was the store we opened. So once we trained the staff, I became the manager there, GM. And that lasted a few years. We kind of changed concepts, shut down, reopened. Didn't change much, but that's how the nightclubs do it. They'll change concepts every few years, bring in a whole new crowd.
Gotcha.
And then they told me when we were reopening in 96 that they were going to do 18 and older. And that's when I kind of washed my hands and said, I have enough trouble with 21 and older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. We had the Avalanche in there all the time.
Oh, no kidding.
Adam Foote,
Yeah.
most of the time.
That's pretty crazy.
We would throw him out from time to time. And he's like, see you next homestand. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Look, the nightclub business has its fringe benefits, a lot of fringe benefits.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's your world. I was on property 80 hours a week.
That's insane. That's a lot.
It is. It was from 10 a.m. most days till, because you do the payroll, you do the ordering of all the booze, the food, booking the acts, the bands.
Wow.
Everything.
Wow.
And you get help. And then, like I said, having the right staff members, the lifers between the, ones that are there part-time, the ones that are, they know that they're going to school, so they're just there for a couple of months.
Yeah.
So, the different styles and different people that you have. And so you give them more authority and allow them to start making schedules and taking a little bit of the weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
It makes it easier. And then you give those guys, gals, bar tabs. A $50 bar tab to someone is $5 to me.
Yeah.
In cost. And back in the day, I think we were paying $52 cents a bottle, for long necks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's cheap.
Oh, it was. And the company was making a ton of money off of us. I remember when I signed that first contract with those guys, I think my salary was less than $30,000. Oh, where do I sign up?
Yeah. I'm rich.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure back then, I remember my first job out of college, signing in insurance 30 years ago, $26,400. And literally I thought I hit the jackpot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Winner.
really making money now. Really? So, okay. So you wrap up the DJ gig, opening clubs, out partying every night.
Yeah, I got married.
Different lady every night.
I got married when I was in Colorado. Yeah, beautiful woman. She was 6 years older than I was. I was 23 when we got married. My folks came out. It was a pretty big to-do wedding. She was huge in the equestrian world.
Okay.
So she used to ride horses. She'd been doing it since she was 4. Her parents grew up in like Hollister, California.
Okay.
Next to Gilroy, the garlic capital. They had property and horses and all that good stuff. And they were living out in Colorado at the time, or moved out to Colorado after. But it lasted 3 years. Her and I woke up one day and we're like, hey, what do you say we go our separate ways? And we did. We didn't have any kids. So we split everything. We sold the house and went our separate ways. And it was really, really good.
Gotcha.
Didn't need to get lawyers involved, anything. So it worked out really great. But I was way too young to get married. But it was an experience. I bought my first house with her. And then I moved to Arizona at the end of, it was January of 97.
What brought you here?
I needed the different scenery again.
Okay. So
I had to get away from Colorado. I loved Colorado. And I'd probably go back if my wife now could stand the cold.
Yeah.
But I know it's changed. I have customers that are in Colorado, so I'm there a lot. And, it has distinctive 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful place. Moved here to play a little bit more golf and, find something new. Mobile DJ business in 98.
Okay.
And that kind of grew. It took a little while to kind of take off. And in 2016, when I finally sold it, I had 28 contracts with elementary, junior high, high schools, doing 2 to 3 events a year. And then weddings were a huge part of my business.
Did you ever do anything at Greenfield Elementary School?
Probably.
I'm trying to think the kids. This is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We had a DJ there. I'm wondering if it was you.
It's possible. And a lot of times you can't make it. And so I would send, over time, I decided to expand and bring on DJs. So I'd have a couple part-timers and then 1 or 2 full-timers that handled the weddings. Because to be honest, that whole weddings is where the money was. Gotcha. And when I first started, I remember doing weddings for $400. And when I finished, I was doing weddings for $3,200.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. My daughter just got married in February, and I wasn't in on a ton of the planning. It was more her mom that did most of that stuff, whatever. But the little things that we talked about, I feel like you add wedding to whatever it is. We're having a family get together. Oh, it happens to be a wedding. Well, the price just like quadrupled.
It goes through the roof.
It's like, how about we just leave that word out?
Yeah.
We'll just tell them we're just having a get together. We're having a family picnic, and then we'll pop on that as a wedding.
Yeah, there is definitely the bridezillas, the momzillas in that industry. I thought about writing a book, at least just a table book, because I have all of these thoughts and things that have happened over time. Like you write them on a napkin or, just so you don't forget, but they're memories. And most of them were great. And like I said, this was a solid 18 years.
Wow.
Doing this. And so I saw quite a bit, was involved in quite a bit. I remember when I was still doing like the lower end weddings, I wasn't getting what I was worth yet.
Yeah.
And there was a couple, she comes to the DJ booth crying. This is the bride. And I'm like, what did I do? That's my first thought. What did I do? And then she's like, I can't find my husband. I'm like, oh, piece of cake. Turn the microphone on. Has anybody seen the groom? Anyone? Has anyone seen the groom? And from across the room, keep in mind, this was a low-end wedding. This gentleman yells out, find out that it was her uncle. He's taking a shit. I can't make this up. So I look at her and I'm like, well, there you go, honey. He's in the bathroom. Oh, but she
could be worse.
But when she left, that's my thought process was, where did she think he was?
Yeah. He's in the bridal suite with the bridesmaid, somebody.
He yelled that out. I was like,
wow, that's hilarious.
Thank you.
That's good. And with that, we go to, I got friends in low places.
No doubt. But anything, I mean, I've seen cakes fall off the table. I've seen ambulances show up at these weddings.
Wow.
And, I think over the years, I've really learned to just calm them down. And it's all in the pre-planning. And I still think to this day, wedding coordinators are worth their weight in gold. You're going to pay out the ass for them, but they are worth their weight in gold because there's so many things that happen prior to the wedding that you're not in the mindset to take care of. There's, a month out, 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, a week out, the day of, all these different things like their rings. Who's in charge of those? And then if you give your mom and dad anything of like responsibility, they're going to mess it up because they're not in the right frame of mind. Their daughter just got married. I got to think about my speech and I got to do this and I got to do that. And it's tough. And so I became a wedding planner, so to speak, as well as a DJ. So the words of wisdom and how to handle certain situations. And look, there was things out of their control. If the cake falls off the table, both of y'all take a bite, take a picture, and let everybody else fend for themselves. Don't cry.
Yeah.
Don't run off and hide. I had a bride, literally her grandfather choked on a chicken bone and the ambulances came. And when the venue called them, I said, hey, have them turn the lights and the sirens off.
Yeah.
If they come rolling down it was a long road to get in. They would see him and hear him coming in and then pulling in. I said, your wedding is over.
Yeah.
So don't have them do that. So they turned off everything. She storms upstairs into the bride's room and then grandpa gets checked out. He's fine, but he was drunk. And so no one could get her down. And her father finally says, hey, Mike, can you go upstairs? And I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm the DJ.
Yeah.
If her mom can't get her down or her girlfriend can't get her down and her father can't get her down, what am I going to do?
Right.
So I went up there and I'm like, hey, DJ. I'm like, just so you know, grandpa's fine. I know you haven't asked about him. I said, but the only person ruining your wedding is you. I said, I can tell you this. If you're not down in 10 minutes, I'm leaving. And that's all I said.
Oh, no kidding.
I went downstairs and Dad goes, how's it go? I go, well, you're going to fire me. And she came down.
Really?
And he's like, I have to know what you said. I'm like, no, you don't. Between me and her.
She'll tell you later.
She will.
Yeah. She'll let you.
No doubt. And then I remember when I decided to raise my rates, when I was doing $600 weddings or $800 weddings, I sat with this couple and they had all of their family, aunts, uncles, siblings, dads, both sides, sitting there and they're just bombarding me with questions and I'm answering them all. And I got paperwork and I'm showing them this and examples and we're going through a bunch of different things. And before I even discussed price, Dad got up, put his hand around my shoulder, and he's like, you're my man. And I'm like, oh, tonight's the night. So when they asked price, I put the pricing stuff back in my folder, and I'm like, $1,400. And he's like, and I was waiting for, I'm like, I'm your man. But I never got it. So he never bitched. And then, so every time I ran into an example to raise my rates? How much am I giving these people? What am I doing for the amount of money? Are you hiring a wedding planner? Am I going to end up being that person? Because the caterers, they think about food. They're worried about food. The DJ kind of orchestrates the whole evening, sets the tone for pretty much everything that takes place. You are the guiding light of everything that happens that evening.
Yep.
Unless you have a coordinator. Then that coordinator is telling everybody where to be.
But still, the DJs direct traffic. I mean,
they are directing.
Yeah. I mean, because you can, I mean, I think of all the weddings I've been at, and you can be playing the chicken dance, and everybody's happy and whatever, because this stupid ass song is playing. And then you go and you play something else and crickets.
Yep.
And now you got to go, okay, now I got to pick it back up. I got to get back involved.
And you got to swallow your pride, because there's times you're going to play something.
Yeah.
And you're going to, oh, that was a flop. I'm going to use my power of veto, get rid of it, and move on.
Kick it out.
Damn. Thought that would have worked.
Bleed it into something else.
Yeah. So
Do you have a least favorite song for a wedding? Is it the chicken dance?
probably the Macarena
Oh, yeah.
or the YMCA.
Oh, God.
And it never fails. You always have those aunts and uncles that always come up.
Sweet Caroline.
I don't mind that, because it's a crowd favorite.
Yeah.
People get along. So anything that was, sing-alongs or could get people more involved, I was all for.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the songs that the Macarena, the chicken dance, I could do without them. But look, if you have kids at weddings,
Love them.
they're going to want them. People are always, but I always, so on my list of things to fill out for the bride and groom, because I have paperwork for them. They have to do their homework and they have to fill it out. If they just hand it back blank, it's like, this is my wedding, not your wedding.
Yep.
So please fill out this information.
Yeah.
And along with what to play and, the music, because you only have a certain amount of time to get to know these folks, what their likes are, what their dislikes are, things of that nature. So I would always have what they want played. And then also, I want a list of what you do not want to hear, because I have no problem telling aunt and uncle that this song is not going to be played tonight.
Yeah.
And that's, you're a guest. But we were there was a strobe light going off saying information center. That's what the DJ is. Everybody came to me. When are we going to eat? I don't know. If you're that hungry, maybe you should have gotten something to eat before you came. According to my notes here, it says another hour and a half.
Bride and groom are taking photos, and then we'll be back in 2 hours.
Yeah. Enjoy a cocktail.
Yeah.
So, but we were the information source for just about everything.
So rolling forward, you got out of that.
Yeah, I sold it, but before I sold it, I had full-time DJs working for me that were out there doing most of the work. So I kind of slowly, kind of like Frank and APN,
Okay.
working on the business, not in the business.
Yeah.
And so I kind of took a back seat and was working more on it, and allowing these guys to go out and do the work. Now, I would still book myself, and I mean, you can't pass up that kind of money, but I wasn't working as much.
Gotcha.
I mean, there were some years we would do 250 to 300 events.
Wow. Holy smoke.
In a year. So, and that's mainly Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was, like I said, it was a lot of fun, but it was a business.
Yeah.
I mean, you worked on it, you worked in it, and thank God I made it a lot of fun. And, I had a checklist when I'd leave the house to make sure that I didn't leave anything, but every once in a while I'd be like, hey, honey, I forgot this. Can you bring it to me? And she'd bring it out to me. In 2011, I went to work for a company that literally bought homes from the steps, and I would go and inspect them and put together the crews to fix them up, and then we'd flip them. They were buying anywhere from 45 to 60 homes a month.
Wow.
And so I'd be in homes from the crack of dawn any way I possibly could, jumping fences, breaking windows, just to find out if there was anything wrong with this house that would avoid them from buying it at all. Anything that was visual that I could see.
Was it like a tax lien auction or something? Or,
Yeah,
or foreclosures? And
most of them were, and it was, back in the time where, 2008 crash and
Crazy.
2011, this was, and so I was doing that in Phoenix. And then I started traveling to other states. I was in Florida, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio. And then the market started to dry up here. And they're like, Mike, we need you to move to Atlanta. I'm like, I'm done with that.
Yeah. I'm not moving to Atlanta.
Not going to Atlanta. I mean, if you just said maybe Ohio or, Florida, I'm maybe. But Atlanta, no, I was not going there. And then I got into the security industry. A gentleman from our neighborhood was like, hey, you want to try your luck at security? I'm like, Sure, why not? And so I started selling commercial security for a company called Tyco. And I did that in Arizona, and then must have did it well enough. I got a chance to do it on a global scale or national scale. So I worked for national accounts as a business development and security. And I did that for many years. To 2020 was May of 2020. They called COVID and they're like, your last day is May 1st.
Like, good luck.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank you. And then I bounced around from a couple security companies to where I'm in now. A friend of mine offered me on the manufacturing side.
Okay.
And so I took that just over a year ago. Matter of fact, June made a year for me.
Okay.
And I feel like I've finally found a home
Yeah.
where I belong, and my opinion and what I do matters.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that I work for are working for me,
Gotcha.
so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't know a better way to describe that.
More of a team
It
environment.
is
Everybody wants everybody to succeed.
they ask questions and not just dictate. And I love that.
That's awesome.
And they hired me for my experience. They hired me for what I do and told me just that, Mike, I need you to do what you do.
That's awesome.
And so it's been working out really, really good.
That's awesome. And somewhere along the way, you got remarried.
I got remarried. So I moved to Arizona in, January 97 and met my wife in 99. I was a golf pro at Rolling Hills.
Oh.
And I went from Rolling Hills to Kim McDonald.
Huh?
And then I went from Ken McDonald to Desert Mountain.
Really?
But while I was at Rolling Hills, she came in there one day with her 3 girlfriends, and she had worked for the airline industry. And she's like, we need some sticks. And I'm like, golf clubs? She's like, no, sticks. I'm like, tees? And then by now she already thinks I'm a smart ass. So I'm like, this is not going to work out great. She's like, no, I don't know how to this stick things. And I'm like, golf clubs. She's like, no. And then she goes outside and she gets one of the pull carts and brings it into the door. So we had the pull cart handles.
Oh God. I'm serious trying to think, what could she mean other than golf clubs?
That was me, typical male. Trying to fix the problem, but I don't really know the problem. And so I was trying to get to her point of view, but I wasn't getting there. And of course, she didn't think much of me at the time. And so when I called him to the tee, I called him the sticks foursome.
Oh, no.
And then it was literally a week, maybe 2 weeks later, I had a date, and it was Fat Tuesday. And so on Miller Avenue, they had a place called Fat Tuesday.
New Orleans.
So where else was I going to be?
Yeah.
So I had a date, and there's a hellacious line to get in. And I told my date, I said, I'm not standing in this line. I'm going to just go to the front, VIP, and I'll speak Cajun, and they'll let me in. So I said, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, come to that line, I'll get you in.
Yeah.
So came around, said something to the guy, he let me in. I went straight to the bar, got a beer, got a shot, and I went back to the line. I waited. She never came. So I went back to the bar, got a beer, got a shot. And then as I'm walking through the crowd, place is packed. And you know how small it was. I mean,
yeah.
It's a small place. I hear this girl go, there's the golf guy.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh. And I turn, and it's her and her friend. And her friend disappears, and so Tricia and I start talking. And before you know it, I don't know how long we were talking, because we were just involved, enthralled in the conversation with each other. And I knew we were around the same age, but I wasn't sure. I really didn't know her, hadn't talked to her. So we start telling each other everything we want out of life. This is what I want. I've been married before. This is no kids. And, I want to live here, and I do want kids. And, it just went on and on and on and on. And before you know it, we were kissing. Oh, kid you not, we were kissing. And then I got a tap on the shoulder. My date. Oh, I kid you not. And so I turn around, I see her, I reach into my wallet, I get $20, and I'm like, put a cap. That's when Tricia started to like me, I think.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And we've been together ever since.
That's hilarious.
And we just hit 25 years.
Wow.
In
Congratulations.
July. So yeah, we got married up at the Desert Mountain
Okay.
on July 21st of 2000. So for me, it's easy. I just got to add the years.
Yeah. Any kids?
We have two. I
Okay.
have two lovely kids. Madison, she's 22,
Okay.
and Carson, 18, just graduated from Castile High School.
Okay.
He's about to go to NAU, and Madison just moved out in June. Thank you, baby. No, she's very independent. She was due to be out sooner. She just,
Did you change the locks on the house?
it's, no, but it's funny. They come over from time to time, like, hey, you guys need to call.
Yeah.
I said, mom and dad are empty nesters and we're kind of living our life now. And, but we set up dinners with them and that sort of thing. But yeah, Madison's super smart. She's got a lot of street smart,
That's good.
a lot like her dad. She works for a restaurant company in the Valley, and she travels the country opening up new restaurants. And then when she's not, she's here serving and bartending. But at the age of 22, she can do that.
That's good.
And, I wish her all the best. Carson, he is living his best life. He's 18, just graduated from high school. He's been a lifeguard for 3 years
Okay.
at our local community pool. And then he just got he's been there 8 months now at that new Rebel Surf Park.
Yep.
And I guess that's Mesa. I don't think it's.
Yeah, I think it's
still
Mesa.
Mesa. And so when I say living his best life, he literally works and surfs.
Wow.
And he's about to go to NAU where life's going to hit him in the face.
NAU and snowboard and doesn't have to work.
He does that too. I think of what our kids get nowadays to what I had available to me, and it's different. I think my kids would be good without the phones if it wasn't introduced to them like it was not introduced for us back in the day.
Yeah.
I think they'd be fine because they're definitely outdoorsy. Madison, it was tough for her in high school because COVID was her last 2 years, and she was a spirited school student. She was like vice president of Stugo. She was on the drama club. She did stand-up. She did improv.
No kidding.
My daughter did improv.
That's
I
awesome.
thought that was the coolest thing.
That's
and
awesome.
literally like throw them a topic and they'd run with it.
That's awesome.
It was really, really cool. She was on the soccer team, was a really good soccer athlete. And then Carson, poor thing, we drug him to all of Madison's events as he was growing up because they're 4 years apart.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really a ball sport kid. We threw him into everything, football, baseball, basketball. And, like me, he was kind of average at those things. He was really good at wrestling, super strong. And then he started skateboarding and snowboarding and surfing. And he's a really good surfer. And he's only been doing it for 7 months.
No kidding.
And now he's getting to meet some of his like surfer heroes and that sort of thing.
How cool is that?
Yeah. So like I said, he's living his best life.
He'll be on tour in Australia before you know it.
Who knows if he sticks, because he certainly looks like a surfer.
Yeah.
He is adapted to that look.
So much for NAU.
Yeah. He's going to fit right in. He's going to fit right in.
That's too funny. So now you're an empty nester. What's next?
Soon to be. We drop him off in a couple of weeks at NAU. And then I know for a fact we got to go back there in September for Parents Weekend. I think we're looking forward to that. But no, it's been kind of cool with the wife and I. We've just been experiencing different things. And look, man, when you put all your time and effort, and I have to give almost all the credit to my wife because she's always been there for my kids. She's, I say baby, but you could call it nurture. Help them with anything and everything. And, I've always been the disciplinary, so I've always been kind of like the bad guy.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that title because, not having that father figure in my world, no one gave me a rule book. No one gave me, the way to do it. I mean, I learned how to do a lot of different things by watching my friends do it with their dads.
Yeah.
So for me, there was no rule book. There was definitely no guidance. And so when you bring that newborn home and you're like, okay, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that this person has something that I did not or have everything that I did not. So you tend to give them a little bit more and a little bit more leeway. And, and I think we have two super kids.
That's awesome.
Really great kids.
That's awesome.
Where we really didn't have to discipline them too much. We didn't have to punish them too much or take things away. They've always chosen more of the right path than the wrong.
That's awesome.
And I'd like to think that most of that has to do with, some of me.
Yeah.
But mostly my wife. She's always been there for them. But now that we're close to being empty nesters, you have to figure out how to enjoy the things that you and your wife have in common. So we play pickleball together.
Nice.
We obviously love dancing, nightlife, listening to music, drinking, going out to dinners. So we do really enjoy a lot of different things. We have to find hobbies.
Yeah.
She's got them. I'm learning to kind of adapt to some of her hobbies, which is crafts. I'm not a crafter at all, but I will try.
Yeah.
And if it's something that makes her happy, I feel like I have to try. She told me the other night at Glow Golf that this is the first time she's done in 2 years.
Okay.
That she wants to do it more.
Okay. Nice.
Which I think is great.
Yeah.
So we'll get out and we'll play more golf together.
That's
which
good.
will be super.
Yeah.
And then the pickleball, I take my pickleball paddle when I travel. So I play quite often. I'm up every morning, play at 5:30, at least 4 days a week.
Show up to a court.
Yeah, we have a little text thing that goes out. And so I play doubles. So you definitely want to show up with your 4 and play. So there's a text group that goes out. So you're not just showing up, at least not that early to play. And it's a lot of fun. My wife gets involved. She's more of a social aspect of it, off the 9 holes and then, lunch and drinks.
Yeah.
Where I could play all day.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
A little different.
So let's talk about APN for a minute. Just because your membership's a little bit different than
most
everybody else.
Yeah.
You're the outlier. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm the social guy.
Yeah. So talk to me about the social. I mean, how did you get involved with APN? How did you get involved with Frank, and how'd that all happen?
So over 4 years ago, Eric Lopez called me spur of the moment and said, "Hey man, we have a spot for Palm Springs golf tournament in 2 weeks." Like, I just happened to be at Carson's track meet. We found out he's not a track star either. He was doing the long jump and the triple jump. I'm like,
Carson, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry this is coming out now.
Oh yeah. But
he's a surfer. That's good.
He is definitely a surfer. But like I said,
was
he's
he a skateboarder?
He was a skateboarder.
Okay.
He learned how to skateboard.
Okay.
But like I said, just all the sports, he just never attached himself to them, never did them. I think he was involved in the sports, the ball sports, because his friends were involved in the sports. And the only reason he didn't stick with wrestling is because none of his friends wrestled. And, when you're a kid, you're kind of influenced by that thing. If my friends aren't doing it, I'm not doing it. But he was really good at wrestling. What were we talking about?
I was talking.
APN.
APN. Yeah.
So Eric called me and said, we have a spot, and we were at the track meet and Trish was there. And I'm like, hey, there's a golf tournament. Can I play? They have a spot. Sure, go. And I went and won, and it became a thing. And I'm like, well, you got to join now. So I joined over 4 years ago, and it's been an absolute blast. And because my business is national, it's not local to Arizona. I don't have a business membership. I just have a social.
Yep.
But I am at the majority of the events, and I've made so many good friends, people that I hang around with weekly, monthly, daily, that I play golf with, that I go to cigar events. Letitia, I've met so many great people that have businesses that are involved in APN, and I'm a huge promoter.
Yeah.
I try and get as many people to get involved, especially if you have a business. It doesn't matter what it is. This is unlike any other networking, and I've been involved in BNI and a few others. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
For me, what I see with the different businesses, I get to take full advantage of them. I don't promote a business, but man, if I need my car fixed, Jeff's my guy. My AC is about to go. I know that I'm going to be calling Andrew.
Yeah.
So there's always someone. And if you don't know someone, call Frank. I promise you he knows someone.
He knows someone. Yeah.
Even if they're not involved in the network. But APN's been great. A lot of great friends. And I think now that, we've become the empty nesters, we'll be able to take part in more of the events.
Makes sense.
Like Myrtle.
Yeah.
Trisha's going to come to Myrtle.
That's
I think
awesome.
There's more couples going to that event
Christine will
than
be
I expected, which will be a lot of fun. And then, them getting APN started over there, which is great.
It'll be cool. I just think of one of the things Frank said to me, and I like to remember a conversation Frank and I had, or at least believe in my head that it was a conversation we had. But him saying, part of the reason he started APN was really he just wanted buddies to hang out with. It's like you just need someone to hang out with. So I like that aspect of it, that it's like really more, cultivate friendships and whatever comes from it, from that, So I think it's really awesome that they have that social level, but you're able to find value in it, even though it's not a, hey, I'm going to promote my business in this, so to speak. You're just, you're there and cultivating relationships. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and you'll find a multitude of different friends to do different things with. So like I have my golfing buddies, but maybe if it's dinner or a conversation, then I'm going to go and hang out with this person. Not that I wouldn't hang out with my golf buddies for that, but cigars. Not everybody smokes cigars. So I meet a different type of crowd that smokes cigars.
Yeah.
And so I get to enjoy their company as well. So APN's just brought a variety to my life and given me something to look forward to weekly, monthly with the different events that go on. And then especially the golf. I mean, I've made so many good friends, and the majority of them I've given some lessons to and, tried to help with their games, because trust me, if any of your friends get better at golf and you get to see them succeed, that gives me the warm and fuzzies.
Well, that's awesome. I'll look forward to someday we'll be carp buddies and you can give me some pointers.
Yeah, I have
because I'll tell you, I think it's crazy. I had, and I related it to my clubs, and I don't know what it is, but I had, and I need to get new clubs. I just say that, but I finally got them regripped. But I went from pings that were standard shafts to Callaways that were inch over standard because I was taller.
Yep.
And I've lost 20 yards on my clubs. And
That's age.
Yeah. Well, and I figure part of it is aged, but before that it wasn't, and so now it's like I'm watch some of these guys hit these long, these like pull out their pitching wedge from 150 yards. I'm like, dude, if I hit 90, I'm lucky. So anyways, but no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that your willingness to explore that, because like I said, it's interesting to me, right? And I think that it's awesome that there is the opportunity to say, you know what, I want we'll call it a club, to be involved in, and that you can be involved and you can step in and you can say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to be as involved or uninvolved as I want to be. And I can tell you, I mean, having been involved in some of those things, like you mentioned with BNI and different things, there is a completely different feel.
It's a business.
Yeah. To this.
That's the way that it came across to me, and it's the way that I think it's designed is just to grow your business. But only from a business standpoint. You're going to build relationships out of that, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But this is more of a network that you can grow your business from.
Yeah.
It is a fun network to grow your business from.
For sure.
And I think a lot of people I don't know, I'm social, so I can't speak for them.
Yeah.
But I've gotten a lot out of it, and will continue to get a lot out of it.
Well, I just remember the first time I quasi met you, it was at Augusta, and Frank had challenged you to go stroke to stroke with a certain somebody to play golf.
Yep.
And that certain somebody, I think, kicked your ass that day.
She beat me by one. She beat me by one. Well, I didn't know that her handicap was better than mine to start with. But leave it to Frank to set me up.
Yeah. That was pretty.
I walked right into that one.
That was pretty funny. The ego got smashed.
Oh, yeah. But I don't mind losing as long as I get a chance to regain.
Yeah.
Or
well, of course. You get an opportunity to step up.
Opportunity.
Yeah. Right.
That's all you get.
Well, and I think, stepping into it the second time, you're a little more prepared. You say, okay, I know what I'm in for.
I had just met her, so didn't know her. And now that I know her, great girl, great woman.
Yeah.
I'd say girl. Hell of a golfer. And we have a lot of fun. She is a friend.
That's good.
And we do get to get out and play golf from time to time. And it's competitive. But now that I know her, I get to work on some of the mind games.
There you go.
Along with
right?
golf.
Hey, if you just turn your right hand, you turn that time hand over just a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can get into someone's head real easily. And it's usually with a compliment.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, I have been playing this game since I was 9, so I've learned a few things.
Learned it. Well, that's awesome. Well, hey, I greatly appreciate you coming on.
It's been a blast.
No, I appreciate it. Everybody who comes on does get a gift, so I will reach under the magic counter here. We'll give you the gift. We've got a coin there, and then you've got your own little custom tumbler. It actually has your name engraved on it from Rocks Ink Calligraphy.
Come on.
And so for whatever.
Open it up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome.
Yeah, so whatever.
Glad to be a part of it.
There you go.
Thanks,
Well,
John.
I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with us and just having a conversation. It's been good getting to know you, and I look forward to many years to come getting to know you even better.
Yeah, maybe even Frank will listen to it and he'll be able to announce me a little bit differently than Mike, our Palm Springs champion.
Yeah, right.
Mike, our 2 times Palm Springs champion.
There is
Like, Mike, I don't even know what you do.
there is more depth to you than just golf.
There really is.
So, anyways, well, hey, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it too. Thanks, John. This is Mike Euper, and I went above and beyond.
Just real deals, authentic connections, the kind that heals from Palm Springs to Pine Top Grace. APN's network spans every place. Above Par Network, we're going above and beyond, reaching new heights. In networking realms, scaling the heights. From research to golf, our spirits unite. APN's the beacon, our guiding light. So here's to APN, where dreams align. In every connection, a chance to shine. Above and beyond, we'll always strive. In APN's network, we truly thrive.